Jags Nation. This is the Action Sports Jax Postgame Show, sponsored by Farah and Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Well, you just watched it. Man, oh man, you led the game for 59 minutes and 59 seconds. And then you lost. Wow, that's a tough one to stomach. And boy, had it, and now you're 0-1 to start the season. Hi, everybody. Hicken here with the post-game show. Brent's down in Miami. We're going to give you lots of Jags information here over the next hour. It's going to be a hard show. It's going to be a tough show. Jags don't get it done. They had everything going for them, dominating first half of football, and they got outcoached. In the second half, they outplayed. And really, the defense, I can't blame them at all. They held Miami to 20 points. They played their butts off. It's 1,000,000 degrees down there. They stopped Miami time and time again. And the backbreaker's the ETN fumble. There's no question about that. It's an ETN fumble and then an 80-yard touchdown pass, and that's a 14-point swing. And you can't have that. You absolutely can't have that in the NFL. You can't win games when you have a 14-point swing. And that's what we saw, a 14-point swing, and it cost the Jags. But more frustrating than that, I'm going to delve into it a little bit here, is the offense that did not score a point in the second half. Unacceptable against an okay Dolphins defense. And a defense that we were able to move up and down the field. Now, they were going to score 7 until ETN fumbled, but even 7 is not, I mean, come on, guys. You know? And we talk about Trevor, and we talk about making that next step, and we had some good stuff today, and he didn't get helped out, but again, 12 of 21 for 160 is not a $55 million a year quarterback. I'm sorry. Got to do better. So, and I know it's just the first game, so don't panic. Everything's going to be fine, and it will. But, man, you just can't lose that game. We got a tough 4 games, and you had this one in your grasp. That's what's so frustrating. You know, we've got Cleveland coming up, and then we got a Monday nighter with Buffalo, and then we got a trip to Houston. And so we got playoff teams galore. And so to lose this one when you had it, it was right there for you. It's very disheartening, very disheartening. There's a lot of good things that happened out on that field today, and we'll get to those. And Trevor was, I like Miami's offense better. I like their scheme better. I like their play calls better. I'm going to tell you guys this. I don't know who's calling the plays, nor do I care, and I don't care if Doug tells me. But I will tell you this. Whoever's calling it, stop calling 1st and 10 runs up the middle. How many times, and I'll have to look it up because I just came out here to do the show. How many times did we run 1st and 10 up the middle? Now, look, Bigsby ran great. Terrific. ETN will be the GOAT. He'll stand up in the press conference after the game. He'll take his medicine. It was a great play by Holland. He punched it out. ETN was going in for a 24-7 lead, man. But rise above. Championship teams, rise above. We got the ball back after 4th and dumb, where we decide to go for it. One thing hasn't changed, man. We can't make 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s. We just can't. Maybe it's not the O-line. Maybe it's a scheme. I don't know what it is, but it's so frustrating, man. And I'm just, again, off the top of my head here, so I'm just speaking like a fan right now. But gee whiz, man. You're on your own 32-yard line, and we're going for it on 4th down? Doug's going to say, look, the defense was gassed. We needed a 1st down. Then somehow they miss a field goal, and we're tied. And we get the ball back, and we've got to have greatness, man. We got to have our franchise quarterback take us down the field. And on 1st down, we run it up the middle, and we got 2nd and 10. And then we throw a little swing pass to ETN, and he gets 9 yards, and then we get stuffed on it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and I don't have the sequences in front of me, so please forgive me, but it's just watching that has been tough. Do you want to look at the quarterbacks and how they played? Liv? All right, there you go. 12 of 21, 162, and a touchdown. I mean, it's just, I mean, he outplayed Tua for 2.5 quarters, and then Now, look, Tyreek Hill makes a play. Christian Kirk drops 2. So we got to have help. Got to have help, guys. But did we not go back? Did they change how they defensed Brian Thomas Jr. in the second half? Because he was killing them in the first half. Okay? But Tua ends up throwing for 336. Waddle has 100, and the arrested one has 120, 130, and it was quiet. But he got the one big play. And the one big play broke our backs. And Trevor got sacked more than once. He got sacked twice, I think. I know back-to-back sacks. And it's just so frustrating, man. Because this was a game you could have won. And you should have won. And I don't know. I'm going to be very curious to see how they handle this and what they say in the post-game press conference. We're awaiting Doug Pederson. We'll get his comments. But we, the Jaguars, gave it away. There's no other way to put it. 17-7, in control, driving at 97 yards with your best drive of the day, going right down the field, and you get down there and look at the total yards. 267, man. It's not good enough. Close game, one glaring turnover. And by the way, lucky as all that it wasn't 2 turnovers. Parker Washington fumbled a kickoff return. Cannot do that. And in the NFL, man, mistakes are glaring. You can get away with that stuff in college. You can't get away with it in the NFL. Mistakes are glaring. Miami pounced. Mike McDaniel was calm, cool, and collected at the half. Said, I'm looking forward to seeing what we got here in the second half. We're down 10. They came back and won the game. I don't think they're that great. I really don't. And I just think it's a shame that we gave them a victory. This one is on the offense, the offensive coaches. And you know what? Shout out to the defensive staff. Shout out to the defensive guys. They played extremely hard. I think Trayvon Walker got credited with 2 sacks, even though he really only had 1. But Eric Armstead had a sack, so we had 3 sacks. I mean, Miami has a heck of an offense, high-powered. And I thought Darby and Savage were great on the back end. I thought those guys played really good football for most of the game. One bad play was the Tyreek Hill long touchdown. Other than that, I can't find fault with the defense whatsoever. But I can find a lot of fault with the offense. The offensive line, the receivers, the running backs. Tank Bigsby played very well. It was great to see. So there's a lot of positives, but it's going to be hard for me to find them when you're sitting here 0-1 to start the year. Let's listen in on Doug Pederson. He is now joining. We'll carry his comments live.
No, it was trying to stay on the field. And, it really just wanted to stay on the field, execute the play, stay on the field, 1st and 10. They stopped us, made a play, and then, it turned into a good situation because, they ended up missing the field goal there. So, but no, just wanted to stay on the field.
5 yards, 4 yards in the second half. You guys the one good drive that you can't follow. Can you just kind of talk how much wind that took out of the sails on that?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little wind out, but guys battled. I mean, the defense stepped up and made some stops, and it was just kind of a tale of 2 halves, really. We made plays in the first half. They made plays in the second half. So credit them. I think so. I'll check him out here in a little bit and on the way back and probably have an update for you tomorrow.
What did you say?
I just told him, so keep his head up. I mean, he's a good player. We're going to give him the football a lot this season. It's week 1. Learn from it, and we'll be better. I thought he did some good things in the first half. I mean, saw the field. Did some good things. I think in the second half, our lack of execution offensively, it wasn't just one person. And it really comes down to our third down, conversion in this football game and not staying on the field. But I thought Trevor, played a good game. We'll look at it and make the corrections, get ready next week. I did some good things. Game's not too big for him, and great touchdown catch, obviously there in the first half, and did some did some good things. We played tough and physical in the run game as well.
Communication breakdowns in the secondary on the back end.
Yeah, I'll have to get with Ryan and the guys. I mean, in the moment it happened so fast, and you're switching gears. So we got to look at the tape and figure out what happened.
You might have been asked about this already, but the defense's play, for the most part, held Miami in check in terms of the explosives. How did you sort of feel about their performance?
I mean, I thought they did a nice job today. You take away two of their explosives and one fumble on offense, it's a different ball game. So, but hey, listen, it's a team game, team sport. But the defense played well, and it kept us plugging away in the second half at least.
The back-to-back sacks, the offensive line's playing on the edge on the last time you had the ball.
Yeah, I mean it's a longer yardage situation too, and you're gonna have to ask Trevor to hold the football a little bit. Coverage did a nice job in the secondary. I mean it's football.
Overall, you ran well. Encouraged by that?
I am encouraged by that. There's something there to work with and build on, and we'll improve each week. We'll keep getting better. All right, thanks guys.
All right, that's the post-game comments of Doug Pederson. I feel like not a great coaching job at all. I know he wanted to keep him on the field. I can't defend fourth down in the 32. We still can't make fourth downs. I can't defend it. It's the new NFL, and I'm a dinosaur because the Dolphins did it early too from their 45 or the 40. These guys, they get the ball to midfield, anywhere around midfield, and it's 4th and 5, 4th and 6, and they talk about, quote, no man's land and such. But these kickers are so good now, they can make almost anything. And, we got the ball back, tied at 17 with a chance, up the middle. We just don't get it done. Poor drive. And I'm just disappointed. Let's hear from Brent, and then we'll cover some of the scores. Here's Brent's observations from the field in Miami.
So much hype, 241 days between the disappointment of last year and the opener of this year. And guess what? The same old feeling, disappointment. The Jaguars collapsed in the second half instead of the final 6 games of the season like 2023. The Jaguars had this one, 17-7. They were in control. I wouldn't say dominating, but in control. The offense doesn't score at all in the second half. And obviously, the big play, Travis Etienne going in for a score, maybe to put the game away with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. He fumbles. And then Tyreek Hill, who had been detained by police earlier on Sunday, couldn't be detained by the Jaguars defense. 80 yards, one play, flipped the momentum. And that wasn't the ball game. Jags still had chances, but that kind of does tell the story. Major disappointment with all the emphasis of the offseason, all the positivity of the offseason, and a win-now mentality. The Jaguars did not win down in Miami, and they had it right in their hands. Now the home opener against the Cleveland Browns becomes that much more important in a week. Always on the road with the Jacksonville Jaguars, this time in South Florida. I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jax.
All right, Brent's collected some post-game that we'll play for you in just a minute. Let's go over the rest of the NFL for you real quick. Houston now 1-0, so we're a game behind the Texans already. They hold on and beat Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans lose. That's good news. The Bears beat them, and Caleb Williams was not great today, but Will Levis might have been worse. I think Will Levis threw the worst interception in the history of the NFL today. I don't know what he was doing with Tennessee up 17-16. Just an awful throw as he was going down. He just flipped it out there, and Bears guy came, grabbed it, and ran it back. Steelers without Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields beat the high-powered, supposed to be good Atlanta Falcons 18-10. That's awful disappointing if you're an Atlanta fan. The Bills got way down to Arizona, came back, won 34-28, despite giving up a kickoff return for a touchdown to DJ Dallas, so that was interesting. The Bengals are a mess. Jamar Chase is unhappy, and it's a new NFL, man. players want money, you better give them money, or maybe they're not going to play. Jamar did play, but he didn't play well, I guess, in New England. With Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, knocks off Cincinnati in their home opener, so it could be worse, I guess. And then the Giants and the Daniel Jones experiment should end at some point. The Vikings hammer them behind Sam Darnold 28-6. So those are your early games, and, of course, the Jags lose as well. Do we have individual stats, Liv? Yeah, let's post that for folks to look at and see how the fellas did out there with the numbers. We'll take a look at those. And listen, there were some good things, but there were some not so good things as well. First, let's take a look. Gabe Davis had 3 for 62. I thought he did well. Christian Kirk had a couple drops. You got to make those catches. He did have a nice catch down the middle. Brian Thomas Jr. was terrific in the first half. Just whooped. He got a PI, too, on Jalen Ramsey, which lifted the spirits of Jaguar fans everywhere. Evan Ingram did not do much at all today. Parker Washington, besides a fumbled kickoff, had 1 catch for 3 yards. Not impressive. And, didn't play a whole lot on offense. We got our guys. And I don't know if Kirk's hurt or whatever, but it's just a strange performance by number 13, who's supposed to be one of the go-to guys. So there you see some of the numbers. Again, we didn't have a lot of yards, total yards, 260 plus total yards. We gotta clean those things up, man. We're waiting on Trevor Lawrence now. Brent's in the locker room. We'll get his reaction. He'll probably be a while. He usually is. ETN versus Bigsby. Bigsby ran hard, 73 rushing yards. ETN came back with 44. His first 7 or 8 carries, he had 11 yards. So he had a touchdown. He was going to have another touchdown. Of course, he lost the fumble. And ultimately, that's the game. Again, that coupled with the very next play, throw in an 80-yard touchdown, is no bueno in the world of the NFL, man. You can't have 14-point swings and expect to win the games, and that's exactly what happened. And once the Jags offense bogged down in the second half and then they had to punt the ball back to Miami, you knew Miami was going to get it done. And we got to have that feeling with Trevor Lawrence in this offense, man. He's got to be able to get the ball down the field, and he's got to have help, all right? But he can't take sacks, and I don't know what he's supposed to do. I'm not putting it all on him. It's a team game, but, man, we got to step up there. You got to step up there and win the freaking football game, man. Get us a field goal at least. We got the ball back, and I remember looking up. There was 4 minutes and 22 seconds left. Liv, I want you to go to that drive and tell me the plays that were run. But it was 4 minutes and 22 seconds left because I tweeted out the Jags need a 4-minute drive here that results in points. I tell you what we didn't need, a freaking 3 and out, which is just so frustrating. A 3 and out. And again, it's a team effort, but I want to see the plays that were called. So, Liv, when you get to the stats and you look up the play-by-play, just read me the first. I know the very first play was a handoff up the middle that no gain, right, for a yard, right? So, okay, so we ran Bigsby up the middle, which worked at some points, but so many times on 1st and 10, we just run it up the middle. We got to go off tackle, man. The middle is not working. And then Lawrence got sacked twice, and that was all she wrote. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then we punted because we had to. And then guess what Miami did? Because we knew they were going to do it. You knew it, and I knew it. We got to have that feeling with the Jaguars. Our franchise quarterback has got to be able to get us down the field. If it's got to be short passes, then make it short passes. They really did a pretty good job in pass protection the whole game until the very end there, but and it's not, I can't say, again, I got to go look. Did he miss somebody? Was somebody open? Did he not pull the trigger? Again, you can't put it all on Trevor, But here it is, 4:22 to go. Run up the middle for nothing, 2 sacks, negative 10 yards, and we punt the ball back. And Miami then can go, okay, look, we'll dump it off to Achon. He'll get 10. We'll dump it here. He'll get 6. We'll run a couple here. We'll get another first down. We'll get it up to the 50. We'll get another 10 yards, and we'll kick the field goal. That's what we needed to do. Put the pressure on Miami then. We didn't even put the pressure on them. Christian Kirk meeting with Brent. Let's see if he has any explanations.
Came down to just execution. and just making the plays when they're supposed to be made. I think that was a glaring point from my standpoint. And, we unfortunately had a turnover, and, they were able to not do that. So anytime you lose the turnover battle, it's tough to win, but also not converting on third downs. And that just goes back to making the play. So I think that was the difference.
Does it feel like a bit of a wasted opportunity with what the defense did?
For sure. Just wasn't good enough, especially individually. Just did not do anything to help, the team win today. So, but we'll take it on the chin and come back Monday, learn from it, be tough critics, and, have all the confidence in the world that we'll be better next week.
Obviously had a couple of plays there.
Yeah.
Just miss?
Just bad. It's just bad. I got to make them. That's why I'm here, and, it's just not good enough. I'm obviously a better player than that, and I take full responsibility for that, and we'll take all the criticism for it. But, I've played in this league a long time, and I've been through stuff like this, and the true telling of a man is just how he bounced back and come back better, the following game. So we have, 16 more opportunities. So all the confidence in the world that would be better.
Travis described the locker room as pissed off. I asked him, and you can answer this too, is the pissed off disappointment after this loss different than what you saw a year ago?
I'm not sure. Obviously we were in a position there to be able to win the game. I thought the first half we handled really well, and we kind of let them hang around. Offensively we weren't good enough, and defense was playing lights out, and they did everything they can. And with an offense like that, it's hard when you keep giving them so many opportunities. So I think it's just, that's a good football team, but at the end of the day we felt like there was a lot of things that we just didn't do good enough to be able to give ourselves a chance to win.
Well, he took responsibility. We're awaiting Trevor Lawrence. That's the podium shot, so we'll hear from him in just a bit. I want to show you one key stat, and I think Liv has them for you from the team stats, and the real reason why, one of the reasons why we lost the game. You can't get past the 14-point swing. You can't get past that. ETN fumble, Cheetah touchdown. By the way, did you see Cheetah's celebration? He put the hands behind the, oof. He was arrested pregame, remember? So anyway, we'll see what happens there. But Liv, do you have the team stats? I'll tell him that then. Just put it up there. And as you look at these statistics, I will tell you, third down efficiency, the Jags were 2 for 10. That's the ball game. And the Dolphins live 8 for 16 is what you told me? 8 for 16. So that is ball game. Liv, what's time of possession? Because we had it in the first half, but I know we didn't have it in the second half. Yeah. The Dolphins had it for 33 minutes and 10 seconds. We had it for 26 plus. So, again, 8 of 16 will do that for you. 2 of 10 on third down conversions. Gosh, you got to be better offense. Come on. There's a lot of stuff invested in that offense. Those guys got to do better. So frustrating. And I'm going to look up tonight the first and 10 runs up the middle and the third and 1 misnomer. The third down plays, 2 of 10. It's just, we'll have that for you tonight in Action Sports Jax primetime. It's just frustrating. But it is what it is. The Jags lose today, and they're 0-1 to start the year. And that's disappointing because we have a tough 4-game stretch, and Cleveland's playing Dallas right now. And so we'll see that. We got sound with them, or? All right, so we're gonna take a quick break here on the show. We'll come back and get Trevor Lawrence for you. 100th career game for Evan Ingram.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jax 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brent and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jax Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjax.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jax 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back, and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey, Mike, what's the weather going to be like?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather going to be like?
I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey, Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax. Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jax postgame show, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right, it started out promising and a really solid first half for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they end up losing in South Florida. Man, a couple tough weeks for the 904 against the 305, if you know what I'm talking about. Oof. Welcome back. It's a postgame show. Hicken here in studio. Brent gathering information down in Miami. Want to go through the rookies. This guy is really good. I'm excited about Brian Thomas Jr., and we got to get him the ball more. I don't know what I'd like to find out what happened in the second half. I don't know. He got some snaps today, but didn't see much. I saw Jarian Jones make a play. Not active, IR. But these two guys are going to help too. This kid is terrific. First NFL field goal attempt, 53 yards, and absolutely obliterated it. And in pregame, he could make them from 70. And Miles Cole was on the field, and I saw him, get involved in a screen on one play. So again, some good things from the draft class. We're not raising our hands, going, "Where's the help? Where's the help?" I just think the offense was the tough part. Liv, who do we have? Brian Thomas Jr. had 4 catches for, I think, 47 yards. Also got a big PI on Jalen, which made Jaguar fans gleeful. Let's hear from him now with Brent.
Well, what's the highs and lows of this game for you?
We came out there, gave it a practice, went out there and played hard. We just got to come back Monday, tomorrow, just correct the things that we did wrong, and just come back next week and be better.
How did you first half look like? You were getting open. They were getting it to you. What happened in the first half to allow that?
Just went out there playing hard. Was able to make some plays, and that was all to it. It wasn't nothing special. However, just went out there and played hard. Was able to get open and make a couple plays.
How about the touchdown? Was that designed to do that?
Yeah, that was a design play for me to get over there. Trevor just trusting me, throwing it up, giving me enough air to run up under it. So yeah.
Earlier in the game, you had a play against Ramsey. The cameras caught you.
Yeah.
Having some words with him too. How fun is that battle, and what was that battle like?
It was fun just to be able to go up against the top corner, Jalen Ramsey. So I mean, with the talking and just football, stuff like that's gonna happen. It's just I was able to go out there and make a play, get a penalty, and that stuff just happened. Yeah.
Did they change something in the second half?
Nah. No.
Do you think that something wasn't clicking maybe for you guys in the second half that was working in the first?
Just had to come out and execute better. Just when the play was called, just come out, get in the play, and get into the line of scrimmage, and just executing the play that was called. That was all I was.
Let's hear from Trevor Lawrence.
Josh, how much did you guys execute?
I gave it away, so there's gonna be a lot to learn from week one. It's early, and got a lot of confidence in the group we have. We got a really good team, but we can't give games away, especially against another good team, which is going to be every week. So, yeah, definitely disappointing.
From your run in the end zone really seemed like it turned the whole momentum around.
0. question with that?
Well, I was going to ask you, is that what you're
Do I feel that way? I mean, obviously, yeah, turnovers are killers, especially down in the red zone. But, I thought Travis did a good job of bouncing back and keeping his head in the game. And stuff like that, is going to happen at times. And we preach taking care of the ball and not doing it. But I've been in that same position. And that's what I told Travis. I've done it before, too. So no one's pointing the fingers. We still had plenty of time in the game. And we have to be able to handle the adversity and go score the next series, and that's the only good drive we had the whole half. So it's on all of us to, when something like that does happen, we all gotta gather around and make the next play, and we didn't do that. It seems like we couldn't get any rhythm going in the second half besides on that drive. So obviously that's going to be the story, and of course that's important. That's something that you don't want to do and you can't do, but we had plenty of opportunities after that, and we couldn't get anything going. And I took a bad sack on second down on our last drive that we got that put us in a tough third down. So I mean, there's plays all over the place that we got to make and that we can't. It's more the mistakes though than the plays you got to make. It's more of don't beat yourself. And I think you look at the whole game, and that was where we struggled. We made a lot of plays, a lot of great plays, and our defense did a good job of holding a really explosive offense. And offensively, we didn't score any points in the second half. So that's something that can't happen if we're going to win a lot of games, which is the plan. So we got to score more.
You talk about not beating yourself, but that's kind of how last season fell apart a little bit towards the end there. So any thinking, oh gosh, here we are again, or we got that all off the system, or type of thing, or no?
Not really. It's just kind of it's what happened today, and don't make it more than it is. We know we have to improve and get better. The reality is, though, it's week one. We're 0-1, not the start we wanted. But even if we're 1-0, we still have 16 more games that we got to do something with. So the mindset doesn't change for us. Obviously, that there's some sense of urgency of we got to clean some stuff up. It was pretty sloppy at times. I thought in the first half we played really well, complimentary, moved the ball even after a rough start on that first drive offensively. We settled in. But, for whatever reason, there was a disconnect in the second half, and we didn't seem to be able to get things going. We were behind the chains, and they kind of took back the momentum. So we got to be able to play with the ebbs and flows and make those plays when we need them. And I take that on myself too. I got to make a play in that last drive that we ended up having, because you're sitting there and you don't get the ball back and you feel like you blew your shot. So for me, I'm frustrated with that as well.
From your vantage point, what sort of went wrong in the second half? You kind of touched on some things, but what did you see out there? What happened on the offense?
Yeah, just some untimely errors. A couple early on, the first couple drives, I don't know if we had 2 or 3 3-and-outs, but we started off really slow and just getting behind the chains early, whether it was a penalty or a stuffed run or an incompletion on first down. They were all kind of something different, but just didn't seem to get the drives going. And then in those second and longs, we didn't get anything positive in those either. So then you're in third and long, and that's going to happen occasionally, and you got to convert, but you can't rely on doing that time and time again. Defenses in this league are too good, and you got to stay ahead of the chains, and we didn't do that early. And then when we put a good drive together, it seemed like we were rolling, great tempo. And then same thing, we had the turnover, and then after that, it went right back to just kind of, stagnant. Weren't able to move the ball, and we got to be able to put drives together consistently like we did in the first half. So we'll have to look at it and see exactly what it was. I don't have all the answers right now, but I definitely know that we had our opportunities and really just didn't take advantage of them.
Trevor, what do you think of Brian? And can you take
Played great.
The 2 plays, the PI and also the touchdown?
PI, I was pissed because I missed the throw, left a little short, and he did a great job. And safety ended up jumping down and took Christian away. So we had the shot over the top. So he did a great job. Won at the line of scrimmage. I think it was press too with Jalen. So he did a great job winning, and I just underthrew it a little bit. Fortunately, we got the PI, but he did a good job going and winning. And then the one in the end zone, that's just us and trusting it, and me trusting he's going to get there, and him trusting I'm going to put it in the right spot. And you see, he made a great play, so it was awesome.
Sorry, 4th and 1 to Travis. Was there any audible at the line of scrimmage on that, or was that an intentional call to run Travis wide?
That was a call. Obviously, it wasn't to go there then back across. He's playing ball and trying to make a play, and they did a good job, and I'd have to watch it. I don't know exactly what happened, but it seemed like Jalen Ramsey did a good job of setting the edge there, and wasn't what we thought was going to happen. Obviously, we had a plan for that play, and that really didn't play out how we thought it would. So, got to give credit to them, and they made some big defensive stops at the end of that game. But we put ourselves in some tough spots, and you'd love to go get it on third down and not be in that fourth down situation where you got to go get that. So a lot of stuff to learn from, and yeah.
All right, let's take like two more.
Is it missed opportunity? Do you feel like right now? You're going in to maybe put the game away.
Yeah.
How quick does that change in terms of the game changed? Obviously,
changes quick. This game is this league. It's a game of momentum, and you have to be able to. If you're on the good side of the momentum flip, you got to be able to take it and run with it, which they did today. And if you're on the opposite side, you got to be able to weather the storm and settle back in as quickly as possible. So, it seemed like we weren't able to do that. The next time we got the ball, like I said, real stagnant. Just weren't getting many positives, and then had some bad sacks there at the end on me. I thought protection was really great all day. Those guys did a good job of giving me time. So, a couple of those were either coverage sacks or me trying to scramble into one. But yeah. It's just frustrating, you feel the momentum flip, and you got to be able to settle in. And playing on the road, obviously, that's a huge thing. Is don't let the momentum take the game away from you. And I felt like we didn't settle back in, and they did. So you got to be able to recover from those things. So it's football, it's the NFL. You're not going to blow many teams out. We had an opportunity coming out of halftime to go put some points on the board and really make it a 24-7 game. We didn't do that, and that would have been a big opportunity for us. But all these games are going to come down to one score, so you got to be able to win it at the end.
All right. Any more? All right. Thanks.
You good? All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Trevor Lawrence. I agree with him. I agree with everything he said. He's right, but it doesn't salve the wounds. I mean, I got to do this better. I got to do that. Do it better. You're in the club. This is the club. Has Dak in it, too, by the way. Dak's now at the front of the line because he just got a new deal. You're in the club. When you're in the club, the criticism comes. It's fair. You got to win that game. You, Joe Burrow, got to win your game. Jordan Love now injured. Club guys are not doing so well. He won his game, obviously. He plays later. He lost his game. He won his game. He should be at the front of the line anyway, but he's not. He doesn't care. But, yeah, man, come on, Trev. Don't take the sacks then. He said it was his fault on second down. Well, shoot, man, we can't have that. 17-all, 4:22 to go, winning time, man. You guys got to go win the football game. No points in the second half. One good drive in the second half. Unacceptable. Mitch Morse, the newest member of the Jags. Let's hear from him.
Well, I thought it was somewhat feast or famine. Not as the offensive line play, although that's usually all I can really speak on. But just as an offense in general, I thought, this game is a game of inches, and you have to look intrinsically and what you individually did to maybe stall a drive and stuff. So that's all. This offensive line room, this offensive room, it's a group of selfless guys, and they point the finger inwards. And that's what good football teams do. Now, it feels terrible to be 0-1. But, what can you do except march on, attack the next work week, be very critical of yourself, but also make it constructive. How can we push this to make it a good week? There were things that we liked that we did on the field. And so continue those and then try to eliminate the things that we don't like so much.
When you see 17 in the first and then none in the second, is that something they adjust to, or you just don't do as well?
I think it's both, right? Like I thought they came out in the second half and made some good in-game adjustments, and then kind of like how we started the first quarter, we just started with three and out, and that puts a lot of stress on the defense. And I thought the defense played a really good game against a hell of an offense, and we have to do more. And that's the frustrating thing. So we'll come out and see what it is. I don't know if it's so much of a mindset thing or as it is just a schematics thing, but it feels pretty crummy to put our defense in that position when they play such a good game.
In that sense, does it feel like a wasted opportunity?
Any loss is a wasted opportunity in the NFL, but we're not going to dwell on it. You can't. If you do, then it's a domino effect.
How much of a gut? I mean, you looked like you were going in to put the game away. I mean,
Sure.
just in general, how much of a gut punch is a play like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a great learning experience for all of us, right? Like, I could have finished the play and gotten on the ball. Like, there's so many things to look at, right? And in this game, although that was a big play, in a game like that, you can't put it on one person exclusively. So we're not going to do that. We're going to point the finger at ourselves individually and then go from there.
Yeah, again, mature way to handle it. But I'm not the mature guy. I'm just the guy watching the game ticked off like you guys watching me ticked off, right? I mean, because the Jags should have won the game, but they didn't. And we've gone through this too many times. And I'm not going to get into, quote, culture. I hate that word and all that stupidity stuff. If you win, you got a great culture. If you lose, you don't. It's the way it is, So I ain't worried about any of that. I'm just disappointed that this football team, who got a great defensive effort today, could not win a football game. And they should have won. And 12 of 21 for 162 ain't good enough. And they also ran, by the way, for a lot of yards, despite the 1st and 10 short runs where they got stuffed. So it was all there for them. And it ain't like the Dolphins are the 86 Bears on defense either, okay? All right. It's the NFL, and you got to learn to win football games. And right now, we're not winning football games. And, I don't want to say next week's a must week because it's week 2, but we went through this a year ago, and, man, you don't want to go 0-2 in the NFL because then the odds of the postseason go shoop, way down, way down. So who else do we have, Liv? Josh Hines-Allen is queued up and ready to roll. Let's hear from him.
How much did you guys execute the way you kind of planned to execute in this one?
I mean, I feel like we did execute to the most part. I think missed tackles and, we had a couple missed tackles on third downs and just key tackles and, beating ourselves with penalties as well. I think we take back, that's a football game. You're going to have ebbs and flows of games. One thing we don't want to do is have ebbs and flows in the season, but ebbs and flows of the game, that comes with the game. So, they're going to get theirs, but if we can, make our tackles, and then, we can not have a penalty. I caused the penalty on one extended drive. So that's an area where I can improve on. And, we can, dial those back in because, we beat ourselves today. Like, I don't think they really beat us. They had a lot of good players. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like they beat us. I think we beat ourselves. They put them in that position to capitalize off of it. So, but, kudos to that team. That's a heck of a team. And, hopefully we see them down the road.
What is it like when you get those two plays? What was the sideline like? What are you guys like to keep it together after the fumble and then the 80-yarder to kind of change the game at that moment?
You said what?
How did you guys keep it together and take those two punches after the fumble and then also the 80-yard play that kind of shifted the momentum of the game?
It did, but, at the end of the game, again, it's the ebbs and flows. So as a defense, we can't sit back and be like, oh, we're in deep hole. No, we have to build up and we got to go further. So I think we still, I think we did a couple change of flows of the game. I think we did bow up and we made our plays and we got off the field. We got the key sacks, we got the missed field goal. So I think we had, our flow of the game. They just capitalized at the right time, and we didn't.
Yeah, all adds up to a loss. Opportunity fumbled by the Jags. Oh, this is a heartbreaking picture. I mean, great play by Holland. He just went in and punched that ball out, man. Oh, ETN. Oh. Jags fall to 0-1, 2017. They're in their cellar with Tennessee and the Colts. Houston on top. That stinks. I see what Stuart Weber did here, handcuffed by Hill. That's pretty good. What did Tyreek finish with? Because it was quiet until he hit that one big play. But other than that, we did great on him. I thought Ronald Darby and Darnell Savage, by the way, played really good football for the Jags today. Those two veterans are good football players. But he ends up with 7 for 130 on a quiet day. That's why he's the best in the NFL. He really didn't do anything, and then he hits that big play. Oh, welcome to the NFL for Brian Thomas Jr. outstanding game, had a touchdown. And then the Trevor tracker, 12 of 21, 162, 1 touchdown. It's very pedestrian. And the fact that I'm going to sit here and say this bothers me in year 4, but it is true. He had no turnovers, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. But, I mean, we got to throw the ball. 21 throws, man. We got to be at 30, man. Come on, guys. Show me something. Get a little creative. Do some stuff. Eric Armstead, you have the floor.
I think so. I think we did a good job at executing our game plan throughout the game, but we didn't find a way to finish and execute there for the entirety of the game. And you know, that's on us.
How big of a blow is that sequence? Looks like you're going in to maybe put the game away or almost, and then the 80-yarder. I mean, how tough is that?
It's definitely tough. You know, you gotta bounce back. It was a 14-point swing, and you know, big momentum shift for them in the game, and you got to respond at that point. It's the NFL. It's hard to win. Stuff's going to happen. It's week 1. You know, there's going to be miscues and different stuff, but we didn't do enough down the stretch to find a way to pull out the win.
It looked like you guys rotating a lot of different guys in. How did you think they all did? Some of the young guys in there, yourself, first time in this defense.
I think everybody did well. You know, we got to sit back and watch the defense. Of course, we can clean some things up, but you know, I love the group of guys I take the field with, and you know, we're gonna keep getting better and better each week.
A little bit more on you. You got the sack, but did you feel your normal self after missing a bunch of time?
Definitely not. You know, I didn't play my best football today, but I will get better and get in better shape and find a way to, you know, help be more impactful and help my team win.
All right, Eric Armstead, veteran. Boy, Calais Campbell, first 2 plays of the game, huh? Holy smokes, man. I mean, sacked Trevor and then had a tackle for a loss. And after that, it was okay. But I was like, good gracious, calm down, Calais. Why didn't we sign you in the offseason? But anyway, nice start to the game from him. It was a hot one down there. I thought the Jags did a good job of shuttling guys in and out. I thought they had good depth out there. I saw Yasir Abdul out on the field make one play for sure. So a lot of different guys in the football game today, including Evan Ingram, who 114 catches last year. We got to see in the 12 of 21 land, maybe take one of those throws up the middle and throw it to Evan Ingram for at least 6 yards, right? I mean, let's at least get that. And we got to get him to get some explosive plays, man. We talked about that towards the end of last year. He had 114 catches, but really became a security blanket. Anyway, let's hear his thoughts about the game from moments ago.
I feel a little bit like Kansas City last year. Defense did such a good job, and you guys just missed an opportunity on the offense.
I think we put a good first half together, and then just kind of dropped the second half. I think there's a lot more to take, you know, to build on from that the game that you're talking about for sure. I think that's what I was just saying. I think we got to, you know, look in the mirror, get the feedback we need to, and continue to work and build our confidence that we had in the first half for a full game next week, and continue that for the rest of the season.
Does it blindside you a little bit when you go out 17 points and then you just can't get anything going in the last 2 quarters?
I mean, it's the NFL. Game's not over until it's over. So, yeah, you can never get too comfortable. So I think it's just more frustrating. Just kind of, you know, us not finishing the job. We started off really great, just didn't finish.
I know you're out there, maybe hard to see others, but what did you think of the performance of young guys like Tank and Brian?
I mean, that's why they're here. Talented guys. They come into work every single day, and they're going to help. They're going to be a big part of our team, and that's what I mean. You know, continue to build on the good things of today. We're going to learn from today. We're not going to, you know, this isn't a gut punching loss. We're going to learn from today. We're going to bounce back. And, you know, the guys that you just spoke of, Tank and BT, their confidence is just going to grow, and they're going to continue to help our team.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I guess that's the best word to say. It's one that they let slip away, and that means that the Action Sports Jax team will be putting a big fat red L over this one right here as we open the season with a loss to the Dolphins 20-17 in a game of what could have been. And that makes this game so very important. Our only home game the first month of the year. We got a Monday nighter in Buffalo, and then we have the Houston Texans away in Houston. That's the first month, okay? And look, we talked about this. You come out of that 2-2, hey, everything's rosy, right? Everything's fine. 1-3, you got some work to do. 0-4, and it ain't good. We're in big trouble, all right? So this week has to be all about winning at home, and then you hope to get like a split of these two, and you're okay. But this week now becomes so vitally important. It's a shame you couldn't steal that game. Colts lost today. You get them at home. We've had great success against the Colts in Jacksonville. Then the England games, the Bears and the Patriots, who both won today, ironically, with a veteran quarterback, a backup in Brissett, journeyman, and the star Caleb Williams, who was not that good, but he got a win because the rest of the Bears played well. Then you got this showdown with the Packers. Now you got Jordan Love injured, but he should be back, I would guess, by here. So, and then you got the Eagles on a Sunday night, who looked impressive. The Vikings took care of the Giants. The Lions play later. So you see, it's again, they're all good teams, man. It's the NFL. You know, great teams win today. Not burying them. It's not the end of the world. It's not. Great teams win. We're not great right now. Do we have the potential to be great? I think we do. But I think our guy needs to step up. Some other guys need to step up. Got to be able to convert short plays. There's a little few things that they got to clean up going forward. And if they do, I think that they will be fine. A lot of divisional games down the stretch. The Texans, the Titans and the Colts, with the Jets and the Raiders smushed in between. It's a tough schedule. But again, like I said, it's the NFL. So you can find reasons every week to win or reasons every week to lose. So we'll see. Did we have one more? Jerry and Jones, our final interview of the day from Brent.
You guys do well defensively.
I think we did a good job of just sticking to the game plan, doing a good job of what we worked on this week. Obviously a couple plays, you wish you could have back, but I think we did a good job of executing. It just, you got to stay locked in certain moments.
I know you see it on tape, but what's it like in real action, the speed that they do have?
I mean, they got some speed, but I'm rolling too, so, the speed is what it is, I can get up to pretty high speeds too.
Depending on what's going on with Tyson, you could have a much bigger role going forward. Glad to kind of get this first one out of the way so that, you're not having to deal with that going forward.
Yeah, prayers to Tyson. I don't really know his situation, but, my thoughts and prayers are with him. And, I'm just ready for any moment that appears, whether it be, a package or, just coming in for him, whatever it may be, I'm ready for my moment, and I prepare really well.
How much of a gut punch is this in control of the game, chance to come get one on the road to start the year and the way it turned out?
It definitely hurts. I really just hate losing in general. You work really hard, to win, So we just came up short, but, it is what it is. You got to come to work next week.
I agree, young man. I agree. Got to come away with a win next week. Next week, though, is 7 days away. We got a lot more to do about this week. We got a lot coming up to break down this disappointing loss to the Miami Dolphins by a final score of 20-17. Let's start with Action Sports Jax Prime Time. We'll get that put together, do some in-depth looks at some of the things that the Jags did well and didn't do well tonight, 10:30 on Fox 30. It's such a popular show. We run it again at 11:30 on CBS 47, so we'll break that all down for you. And then Jags Report Live starts tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Fox 30, live from Strings. That'll be fun. Antonio Johnson will be our guest. He played on the defensive side of the ball, so he can hold his chest out high. He played, good football with his defensive mates today. They got him a couple of times, but it's the NFL. The other guys get paid too. So let's, in summation, wrap things up as we come back and tell you the Jags lost a tough game today. They lost a disappointing game. They had a game in hand, the game they should have won, quite frankly, 17-7 in the NFL. You put them away. You're going in for a touchdown to make it 24-7. You fumble the ball, and the next play you give up a touchdown pass, and it goes from 24-7 to 17-14. However, that's called adversity, and that happens in the NFL all the time. And it's how you handle the adversity that counts. And they didn't handle the adversity today. And that's, I think, what's so disappointing. We talk about being a better team, talk about being the best team in the Trevor era, talk about finding ways to win. Today was a day that you win the football game, and they didn't do it. And that has us all befuddled, quite frankly. So, again, we'll see you tonight with much more. Appreciate you hanging out with us for the hour here on the on the postgame show, and we'll see you at the bank on Sunday. Jags and the Cleveland Browns getting ready to do battle. I'm Dan Hicken. Thanks to Brent, Martineau, and the entire sports staff. See you tonight.
Jags Nation, thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices or pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're going to put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is going to have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's going to be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are going to give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worry. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJax.com.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jags Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game. But with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, get 10% off any residential job of $500 or more. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.